Hey there, good afternoon everyone. This is Trader Tim from over at eminimine.com doing a recap video for the 16th of July 2020. And before we jump over to the ES, I just wanted to highlight the SPY, and we've made potentially a double top up here. Actually, I'll go over to the SPX, and we need to break highs. So really it would be like if we can trade up into the 3240 area on the S&P, that would be kind of a violation of highs, therefore the double top would have broken. If, however, we trade lower from here, then we have this swing low from the 14th, 3127-ish, would be the low that would need to break. And since we have a retracement long, watch, if we do sell off, watch for that intraday V reversal. If we break the low, 3127, we could trade lower and then reverse and put in kind of a hammer formation down here at this 50%. If we come down and break the 61.8, then we could set up in a nice little short. So we'll see what what tomorrow, Friday, or next week brings us, but looking for us to go higher from here at this point. If we jump over to the ES, there hasn't been a lot to do this week. There just haven't been a lot of setups here on the ES. Today, no exception. When you're looking at a 5-minute chart and you start drawing up retracements and they're lining up kind of in the middle of the range, like this first one, the long, fails. It's right in the middle of the range, and then you draw up the short. It's also right in the middle of the range, and it fails. You can do two things. When you have back-to-back failures like that, it's important to note the high and low and stay out of trades in that range. And if we look at that today, well, what do you have? We traded in the first 30-minute range for most of the day, with the exception of a couple little peak aboves, and the one short setup that I had today was one of those fading highs. So whenever you're in a range like this, with the first 30-minute high and low kind of encompassing that range, stay out of the middle of the range. Look to fade highs or buy lows. There wasn't really any great opportunities for picking up lows today, at least using the NYSE tick. But I did want to talk about the short, which was at 53s, so about 23 minutes after the bell, 6:53 Pacific, and we had a high tick over here that lined up with the high price. We came down and broke the swing low, and then just set up nicely in the short, 32.01 and a quarter, and we sold off from there. That was really about it for trading opportunities for the day. The long from lows didn't pull back to its 50%. And then a little bit later in the morning, we did have another high ticket highs. It was at 7:41 Pacific here. And then we put in the swing low. We didn't quite make a double top, but we bounced a little bit. So this one candle here, I chose not to draw it like this, just because I like to have more than one candle between like making up the swing high or the swing low, and so I chose to let this second spike, if you will, form, and then I ended up drawing my swing high to swing low like this, and it didn't get filled. It was a 450, and it traded 450, but that was it. It didn't trade through. So if you use the little swing high here, you could have drawn it up like this, got a fill, and you would have been fine with as far as stop goes, and could have got in that one, but not a big deal. Just not a whole lot of intraday opportunities this week, and that's okay. If you look at a market like the Qs and you see that, by and large on the daily chart for the NASDAQ, yeah, we had the bigger down day on the 13th, but by and large we've been moving sideways, and sideways is good. When you sit at a price level, you're developing that as a support level. And so the longer you sit at that level, the easier it is when we come back to that level to find support. So I'm okay with kind of this moving sideways. I mean, even on the SPY, we really haven't gone anywhere over the last 2 weeks. And so what was the trend before the consolidation? Well, it's been up. So that's why, from a what's the next step type of viewpoint, the logical next move should be higher. But I'm watching these two swing lows here and the 61.8 if we do end up selling off. So I hope everyone has a great week. No video on Monday. I will be gone. But if you have questions, you can shoot me an email. As always, tim@eminimind.com. Thanks and have a great weekend.